Hello everyone, I'm Damia. Welcome to International Logistics and Supply Chain. I will tell you about logistics and supply chain related to modes of transportation for international trade and documentation use. Let's go! Okay everyone, what is logistics? Logistics is part of the supply chain process that plans, implements, and controls the efficient and effective flow and storage of goods, services, and related information from point of origin to point of consumption in order to meet customer requirements. Most popular concept of logistics management is the concept of 7 R's, which are right product, right quantity, right condition, right place, right time, right customer, and right price. Next is supply chain management. Supply chain is logistics taken to a higher level of sophistication. A supply chain is the movement of goods not just from one place to another, but from the ultimate origin to the ultimate destination. Do you know how logistics and supply chain related to international trade? It includes purchasing, like purchase the product or services specification that one want. Other than that, material management, inventory control, warehousing, transport, and distribution. Logistics supports effective and efficient supply chain management by integrating the flow of materials and goods from the initial purchase of raw materials through to final delivery of a product to customers. This is logistic chain. The logistic chain in international must be foreseen from the movement in which the company decides to export or import a product. It affects both the design of the packaging materials as well as the terms of delivery that will be agreed in the contract of sale, among other things. Furthermore, this is differences between local and international logistics, which are distance, currency variation, mode of transport, packaging and labeling, infrastructure, and border crossing process. Furthermore, the 4 main modes of international transport are road, sea, rail, and air. Each mode has its perks, drawbacks, and conditions pertaining to the type of goods being export or import. Sometimes there's a need to use more than one mode transport or may contact freight forward to deal with logistics. Okay, firstly, road transport is more flexible than the other 3 modes. It is relatively easier to track your goods, secure consignments, schedule the transport, and pay the relevant fees. Besides, transport by sea allows to ship large volumes with lesser cost than the other 3 modes. Shipping container could also be used when transporting goods by land. However, international transportation could be delayed due to the slow pace, weather shifts, and inflexible roads or schedule. Other than that is rail transport. This mode of transport is environmental friendly and is often used in prosperous continents like Europe. However, rail transport has inflexible schedules and may be delayed due to mechanical malfunctions. Not at all regions all over the globe have a respectable rail system, which is a hard setback for remote regions. Lastly is air transport. Using air transport for international trade is the quickest way to ensure product delivery and distribution. It is also the safest method of transport and could export or import a variety of goods through this mode. Next, This is process, logistics and supply chain related to modes of transport for international trade. The first process is make an order at port of origin via online shop or anything method. The second process, seller receive the order and seller prepare and packaging the item. The third process is the parcel is ready to ship from the seller using modes of transport such as road transport. The fifth process is the parcel is shipped from sorting center in port of origin to port of destination. The fifth process is the parcel is transit from port of origin to port of destination using modes of transport such as sea transport. The sixth process is the parcel is received at sorting hub in port of destination and do custom clearance. Okay, the last process is parcel successfully delivered to buyer location or warehouse. Okay, now I want to explain about documentation that we use in international logistics. The first documentation is bill of exchange. It is an agreement signed by the buyer of the goods to pay the seller a certain sum of money on a specified future date. Each international trade transaction generates its own bill of exchange. The bill is drawn by the exporter and sent to the importer. One of the types of bills of exchange is bank acceptance. The second documentation is bill of lading. This documentation is evidence of a contract between the transporter and the exporter to deliver the goods to a designated party. The importer called the name consigned at a specified destination is in importer's country. One of the type bill landing is clean bill. The third documentation is letter of credit. The documentation involves a minimum of 4 parties: the importer, importer's bank, exporter, and the exporter's bank. This documentation is an undertaking given by the importer's bank. It called issuing bank, acting upon the request of the importer that it will make payment to the exporter. The fourth documentation is packing list. When the goods are in package, the packing list gives details of the goods in each package. Okay, the fifth documentation is consular invoice. It is an invoice that describes the goods being transported. The export authenticates the accuracy of the invoice by appearing before the importer's country's consul who is stationed in the exporter's country. The last documentation that we use in international logistics is insurance documentation. This documentation is to protect goods in transit from loss or damage from the time they leave the exporter's warehouse and until they reach the importer's warehouse. The goods are insured by the importer. Thank you for watching my video.